shove it up his ass. I saw Dylan one time. He was on tour with Willie Nelson, and I wanted to see Willie Nelson, and I got to the venue too late, and I could hear Willie playing his last song over the wall of the baseball stadium, and I got inside, and then I had to wait for the set to change over, and then eventually, he came out, and it was painful. It's painful to listen to. It's painful to watch. Bob Dylan is just like, I mean, I've never been a fan. I get that he's like a great songwriter. I get that he's written great songs.
Sure.
I've always held that other people perform his songs better than him. But it was like watching it live. I left. I was like, oh, hell no. No. Yeah. Apparently Willie then of course came out with and sang with him later. So I should have stuck around for that. But hey, everybody.
Let us know what popular musical people you also hate and would leave in the middle of their show for.
That's right.
It happened.
And we're back. We're back to hating on Bob Dylan, you guys.
That's right. Sorry, Fire Drake. We're harsh people.
Not as a songwriter. I not as a songwriter for me, but as
a human. I mean, I don't know
not as a
much
human.
about
I'm sure he's great.
Or
actually,
not.
really,
could be a dirtbag. I don't know.
Could be. I really like his son's work, but yeah. Okay, it's hard for me to listen to.
What could you do?
What can
you know what you can do is you can talk about what we're going to be talking about today.
Blood
drinkers.
Blood.
Yeah. Vince, remind me, why are we talking about blood hunters today?
I think it's we're having a Porque No Los Dos kind of situation today. Which is, we've been very curious, and others have been as well, about exploring some of the options for Daggerheart on the Void. And then also, Mighty Nine is, the animated series is about to premiere. I saw someone say that the first episode's going to be up on YouTube this weekend, which...
Skywage.
I don't know.
Illegal.
I done
that sounds
heard.
Illegal.
I don't know if it's
FBI will be contacting you along with the Pinkertons.
That's right. You wouldn't steal a car. So anyway.
Oh, Bun Bun says it is already. And Fire
It's up right now.
Okay.
Oh, wow. So Bun Bun. Yeah, you know what? Thank you for that, brother. Let's say hey to who's here. Bun Bun, JR22 Hun, Angelo, Rabbit, Fire Drake was here first. J Kev, JKC. Hey, welcome you guys. Glenn Finney, Takela. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, we're missing an AK. She is taking a much needed mountain escape.
With her homies.
Homies.
Yeah.
So
where are they going? Do we have their address so we can dox them?
No idea.
No,
I'm sure she told me, but I did not process that.
Well, we'll put it online. We'll put it on Twitter.
We'll put it in our join the Discord, you guys.
That's
Maybe
right.
we'll send
GPS
locations.
Yeah, join our 4chan channel.
Yeah, exactly.
Do they have channels? I don't care.
Probably. I don't know. Yeah, let's not ask.
But I'll tell you what, though. So AK is gone,
Tell
but JR22 Han has spoiled the surprise, which is that it said, welcome to the Blood Hunter. The Blunt Hunter. That's a different class.
Oh, no. Definitely a different class.
Where is our special guest, Taliesin Jaffe? Well, guess what? We are going to perform a blood ritual to summon the Dark One, Taliesin Jaffe himself.
That would be amazing.
I do think There's in the movie Hellboy when they raise Rasputin out of that pool of blood. I honestly believe that Taliesin, if you did it right, Taliesin Jaffe would totally pop up out of that blood.
I'm joking, but I 100% believe that of all the humans, well, I don't think he's a human, of all the beings within existence in this universe, if you did perfect a summoning ritual, I think you could call upon him.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah. You'd need more than blood in the pool. You'd need anxiety and maybe a little bit of self-loathing and
maybe
social awkwardness.
Social awkwardness and a really fun Japanese toy that you have to build yourself.
Oh yeah. See, I have all of those on tap except for the Japanese toy, so I'll have to get that.
I can work. We've got a Japanese deli is nearby. I'll just walk on down and see if they've got anything good. They usually have some fun curio things. So I'll pick up a little model for the center sacrifice. Yeah.
Great.
Maybe a sweet faux hawk. Put that in there too.
I'll shave the sides of my head. I'll get a faux hawk going. Why not?
I think we could probably say that Taliesin Jaffe is the person who popularized the Blood Hunter. I mean, it was popular before he played it, but in pop culture anyway. Like Molly Mock was the. Well,
I actually have a history.
Known.
Yeah, I mean, if you're curious, does anybody know who the first Blood Hunter was?
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
Part of the Prez.
I'm sorry.
Can I
guess?
guess?
I'm very excited.
Can I guess?
You'll get your chance.
Okay. Trivia time. Can I guess, or should I wait for the presentation?
No, go for it.
Wasn't it what's their face's character in Vox Machina? It was Toya or something like that.
No.
Latoya Jackson. Latoya Jackson is 100% a Blood Hunter. She would if she had blood, which she doesn't.
Oh no, she played.
She has
they played a
werebear.
Well, I really liked that.
I don't know.
Werebear?
They played a werebear blood.
Brother, you wanna drop your
Tova, not Toya, Tova.
Tova.
Dave Schreimick has already given it away. And Glenn.
What?
Yeah.
No, that's not the answer. Okay, we'll get to that presentation.
It is the answer. We will get to that.
Wow.
And yes, when we get to that, I'm excited because I have I'm
going to lean heavily on a few things. One, your Witcher knowledge, brother, both from your love of. I think you've played the game, you've read the books, you've learned how to play the TTRPG as well to GM that. So
I love most of those
for
things.
It?
Yeah, I love those
2 out of 3 ain't bad. So I'm going to lean heavily on your Witcher knowledge and lore and how it's connected to the Blood Hunter because, folks, here's the thing. I made this whole presentation, but I still don't know a GD thing about blunt hunters, and blood hunters. That's really hard. It's harder to say.
I've planted that seed because I can't speak English. I've planted that seed, and now you guys are both infected.
Yeah, thank you. I'm one of the infected. I'm fully prepared to embarrass myself here with misinformation. So, folks in the chat, please chime in, correct me. Fitz, you've played a blunt hunter.
I have.
We're just going to say blunt hunter.
Yeah. I've played
a
blood hunter and a blunt hunter.
Yeah, Matt Mercer. Excuse me. Call me. We're going to pitch you on a rebrand.
That's
of
right.
The Blood Hunter.
And it's as Glenn Finney said, it's specifically for a show called The Adventures of Bud Hunter.
Yes, I mean, don't see why you guys aren't leaning into that, but yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm a blunt hunter. I'm hunting my blunts a couple times.
I don't have to hunt blunts. I got plenty of weed on my back. We'll just roll them on.
Wait, what? Okay, so without further ado, shall we?
Show us.
Let's get into the funky sauce. All right, what the F is a blood hunter?
Someone with incredible abs.
Yeah. First you have to have abs of steel.
Man.
Yeah. For you just automatically get abs of steel. It's like Tobey Maguire and Spider-Man. You get bitten by a spider and you wake up and there you go. So this was just my little journey because I really, like I said, I've never played one. I don't know anything about them. I know that there was basically kind of homebrewed. I knew just briefly. I knew about Mollybach. I knew that it was this and that, but inspired by the Daggerheart playtest release in the Void. Here we go. So what we're going to cover, right, is how it started, the origin story, and this is high level stuff. What is a blood hunter? Hemocraft, how it's going, the orders, D&D versus Daggerheart, which is I'm sure what you guys all want to talk about, and then which is better, and then TLDR, which I actually didn't include that, so just ignore. So how this started, and this is just a brief history of bad coping mechanisms with swords and band-aids, right?
Sure.
Now, as we get into this, brother, I'll just ask you right off the top. We know that Matthew Mercer loves The Witcher, right? We know that this was heavily inspired by The Witcher. But my question to you is, does The Witcher have, as part of the lore, like a blood, like a self-cutting, self-harm kind of aspect to it?
No. So
okay,
it does not. He does not. And I don't even know whether Matthew Mercer loves The Witcher. Oh, he does.
Oh,
yeah, he definitely
does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
dressed
check this
as
out.
Geralt.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hold my hemoglobin. Oh, you know what? We should also, I feel like, for uninitiated folks, if you aren't aware of the Blood Hunter stuff, maybe we should trigger warning, because there is blood and there is self-harm. So just,
Good looking out. Good looking out.
You know what? Thank you for that, Fitz. I wouldn't. I'm an insensitive beast. I would never have thought of that. Well, I don't remember which episode this was, but it was. I think it was for
pretty early on.
Near Halloween. Yeah, and it was just an epic Witcher cosplay by Matt during a game. And so
there is a little bit of a disconnect for me personally to add this new Order of the Mutant, because it very clearly kind of describes a Witcher monster hunting character. You employ mutagenic toxins created to enhance your abilities.
We'll get there.
Great.
Just
Well, you asked me a question, so I was saying I don't think it has anything to do with blood. Just saying.
Okay, got it. Got it. So this is actually a direct quote. This is just part of the quote. It had to do with Matt Mercer. He played Witcher 3. He'd read the books, et cetera, and he said, "Hey, hold my hemoglobin. I need to make a character based on The Witcher." It's a direct quote.
Direct.
So the Witcher effect, similar to the Matt Mercer effect, I think just the basics, brother, you are probably know this, Fizz, maybe you do too. It began, like we were just saying, in 2015 for the Vin Diesel D and Diesel one shot. Now, have you guys watched that? I've never watched it.
No, but D and Diesel is fun.
Apparently, he's like a lot of other celebrity nerds.
Yeah, he's really into it.
Deep into D&D, yeah. And he was in a movie called The Last Witch Hunter, not related to The Witcher.
Now, is that's my follow-up question. Has anyone seen that movie?
No.
Apparently, it's great. I have not.
Okay.
I have a very trusted source, this guy that I watch, and he continually talks about how it is a surprising good movie.
Okay. Yeah. People can. I think maybe largely because of the XXX movies, people like to underestimate Vin Diesel. But
sure, you
shouldn't. No, I always enjoyed those super weird Pitch Black movies. The first one's a little bit of a tough watch, but they're super weird. But yeah, no, that was the origin. He did it for that, so he could play a character named Calder, and then people loved it so much they're started clamoring and then fan brew to canon. Then he released the class for free on DM's Guild. This is all just kind of, everyone knows this lore. But I guess at some point Liam O'Brien also like it started to evolve because he wanted to play a paladin, but he wanted something darker, so that somehow fueled
Checks out.
the creation. Yeah.
Okay.
Right, it does. Yes, yeah. He wasn't goth enough. Wasn't sad. Not enough sadness in his paladins.
Bless him.
And then people loved it, and then it just evolved over time until finally WotC published it in Guide to Wildmount.
Yeah.
Critters, of course, went crazy. Self-harm, again, trigger warning. Self-harm, math, dense jargon, rules. Anyone who's like into crunchy stuff was like, hell yes, give it to me. And this is the part of it that Fitz, you've had experience with, and I don't. And we'll cover this a little bit later. Like, there is a major crunch factor to this class, and I forget about crunchy class. I never played an artificer. I get intimidated by things like that, even though like I oftentimes get bored with martial classes like monks and barbarians, where it's really just can kind of be like, yep, and then I punch them again. I guess I'll just try to. Maybe I won't miss this time. Right?
Funny.
Yeah.
You know, the onus is ours as players to get creative with how you describe it, but at the end of the day, you're also just like rolling a die to punch again.
True.
So I don't know why I shy away from crunchy characters in D&D, but I do. Anyway, the theme of the character, which I thought is pretty cool, control through sacrifice. Control through sacrifice. So it's a little bit Witcher, it's a little bit Van Helsing, part emotional support, war crime.
What?
Yeah.
A love letter to dark fantasy archetypes where the cure is always a little worse than the curse.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's...
How much of this is vibing with The Witcher specifically? I know that they are separate things, but
yes.
Tell me more.
Yeah, I think so. This is really great, Viv, because I kind of, because I haven't really watched all of season 2, and I definitely haven't seen Vin Diesel's version, so I just always assumed that Blood Hunter, and I've never played one, so that it really was specifically about a cutter. Sorry, I don't know when you trigger, but that then got powers, which is neat. But I was like, yeah, I'm kind of squeamish about blood, so that's never going to be kind of my thing. But this makes more sense. It takes the word blood hunter to not necessarily mean that it has to do with this particular fighter's hunt. It's some other a monster. JR says it really well. A monster that hunts monsters.
Yeah,
well,
that is exactly what The Witcher is. Yeah. Okay. And so that one quote that you just showed about the curse, the cure being more than curse. That's the thing about Witchers, and they are mutants, and most of them die in the process of trying to become Witchers. It's very sad.
They try to become a Witcher. Yeah, like they aspire to be a Witcher?
It's even darker than that. A lot of times it's like orphan boys or boys stolen from their families, always boys, until, well, anyway, you won't read it, but I won't spoil it either. But it's always boys, and they're stolen, and it's these really dark circumstances, and they're fed all of these poisons until kind of like, like Deadpool, where they're trying to bring out the mutagenic ability by punishing them, and it's a terrible, terrible, terrible thing.
Wow, love it.
Yeah,
give me some of that. Break me off a piece of that.
Yeah.
I will actually, yes. If you could get down with a little crunch here, Evan, the Blood Hunter does have some sadness. I think you would enjoy if you just lean into it.
Evan doesn't like
sad characters.
Huh?
I've played
edgelords.
Okay.
I've played some edgelords. Well, just one, really, mostly. I don't know if he's an edgelord or not. I don't really know what that means. I like darkness. I like darkness.
Yeah. It is your old friend.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Look. So I got
you
a t-shirt to prove it.
You would enjoy a blood hunter with a sad, nasty backstory. You would.
Sad and nasty. Well, let's ask the question: what is a blood hunter? And what is, brother? You already kind of dipped into this. Okay. According to the internet, a blood hunter is what happens when a paladin and a warlock go through a messy breakup. Nice. Whatever that means. They hunt monsters, but their secret weapon is their own blood. Every rite, curse, or strike comes at a cost. They carve sigils into their skin, ignite their weapons with crimson flame, and pray the monster dies before they do. It's dark, heroic, and just a little self-destructive, like your friend who ironically listens to My Chemical Romance.
That's me, like except it's not ironic.
Not ironic. No.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Hey man, we all have our flavor of angst. This is my flavor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. My preferred flavor.
Yeah.
Blood, sugar, sex magic. Without the sugar or the sex. Well, we could have sex.
Well, I don't know. A lot of blood
Witcher
hunters
has a lot
are
of
really
sex.
Sexy. Yeah.
Geralt has a lot of sex. Yes.
So much. And you know what? True. You got to be careful.
The more abs you have, more sex you have.
The more abs you have, the more sex you have, and the more sugar in your system. You know, you got to maintain blood sugar levels if you're a blood hunter, right? Like that's going to be very important. You don't want to have low blood sugar.
And if your blood sugar is too high, you got to work it off somehow.
That's exactly right. So it's very important.
You got to regulate it. So the word, and I was learning all this. So the signature craft is Hemocraft.
Yes.
It just sounds cool. So it's a ritualized study of blood as a conduit for power. They draw from alchemy, curses, and monster anatomy to fuel their strength. And I think that strength is meant metaphorically, or at least loosely, and sometimes maybe literally. Mechanically, it's a dance of risk and reward. Spend hit points to amplify. This is specifically the D&D version. Hit points to amplify abilities, brand enemies, like branding, like give them a logo and all of that stuff. Or unleash devastating blood curses. The more you bleed, the stronger you get. The class turns pain into progress. The ultimate D&D expression of no pain, no gain.
Wow.
I think that about sums it up, right?
Yeah. Especially for the D&D version, which I'm really having a moment here because I kind of wish that I'm sure there was all kinds of issues that of D&D that Wizards didn't want to get into to expand it to a more witchery vibe that Daggerheart obviously is wanting to do, but it's cool to know that Matt Mercer had always had that in mind, that it the dance of risk and reward. That's I really like it. Yeah.
See, what's fun, and apparently we'll get to this a little bit later. People say that some people think a misconception is that they are very overpowered, but in reality I think they're actually kind of underpowered, which is, I think, the same misconception is had about monks sometimes, depending on the monk. Oh shoot, I just lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
That some people think that they're overpowered or underpowered, or overpowered, but you think that they might be underpowered?
That they're underpowered. It'll come back to me. I can't remember. Okay. But in the meantime, let's look at this. The Great
Witcher Bake Off. Blood sugar hunter is trying to eradicate type 2 diabetes.
The Great Witcher Bake Off is for the blunt hunter. You know
That's right. Now,
Fitz, before we move on, is there anything about this that you want to refute?
I don't want to refute anything, but I do want to. We've scrolled past it, but I wanted to call out that, like anything else, speaking of flavor, you don't necessarily, even though the Blood Hunter is so specifically flavored with be positive, like whatever, you could if you or someone else in your party is maybe uncomfortable with the blood aspect or the self-harm aspect, you can absolutely reflavor this to be something not quite so self-sacrificing.
Sure.
Like, I know when I played my Blood Hunter, because I was a little uncomfortable with, like, self-harm for a D&D character, I flavored it, and it was long. It was a minute ago, so I was trying to, I pulled up their
emotional
character sheet
harm,
to see if I could.
Not physical harm. Just
that's right. I just did emotional damage to myself. I can't remember.
Others.
And to others. I can't remember
the more
what
you
I
are
had
mean
done.
to other people, the stronger you get.
That's exactly right. You're the Regina. Regina George could be a good blood hunter.
Ooh.
Who's Regina?
Well,
From Mean Girls, right? Because like
yes,
you play
well-
mind games and everything. But
okay. I have a side note for that one, but keep going.
yeah, no, just that like you can like anything else you can reflavor. Like if you're not comfortable necessarily with some of the whole self-sacrificey stuff, you could reflavor it a little bit. You could go less O negative, more O positive. I don't know.
Typo negative, like the band.
That's right.
Hell yes. Well, let's talk about some D&D common gripes about the Blood Hunter.
Sure.
Now that we're kind of on the topic, and Fitz, you can refute or confirm these. So people say they're too squishy. Would you say that's true?
Below, I mean, every D&D character is super squishy below, say, level 3 or 4.
Sure.
You're gonna die. But absolutely, if you're playing a Blood Hunter below level 3 or below, you're gonna die. Like, yeah, the hit die and the incurring self-damage is low survivability, particularly if your strong suit, no offense to myself or others, if your strong suit is not necessarily the best at tactics. If you can't, if you're not a good chess player, this can be kind of hard to manage at lower levels. Once you get a little bit higher and you just have a bigger buffer, or if you can take like tough or something like that, like if you get past a couple of level ups where you can take some feats and sort of give yourself a sack of hit points when you don't have very many, you squish. You squish.
Squishity squish.
What is here? This is embarrassing. What is a hit die?
Like when? Okay, I will answer this question for you, Evan, because I know we've been playing on D&D Beyond like the whole time, so I'm sure you've just picked automatic. But the different characters have a different hit die, so like, I can't remember exactly what they are, so people absolutely, I'm just going to choose incorrectly on purpose and people can get mad about it. But like the wizard is obviously getting a D12 of hit points at every level up, not a D4 or a D6. And like the or a ranger gets like a D10 or a D8. Like every class gets a hit die value, and when you level up, you can either just take the average or you can roll
the dice with which you rolled up your hit points.
Yeah, to get your maximum.
That's it.
That's it.
Pretty much.
Hit die is confusing terminology to me.
It's a weird. It's
yet another
hit point
UX
valuation
issue.
Yeah, it's an unnecessary name, honestly, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So in terms of this mechanic though, so you're saying that what this is saying is they a blunt hunter only gets a D10 hit die as opposed to a D12.
Yeah.
D12 will be the max, right?
D12 would be the max, but considering that they are a martial character who does have to rely pretty heavily on causing self-damage, D10 isn't super great. Because also, like as Angela said, Molly Mock died at level 8, which is higher even than what I said.
God,
but
he was level 8 at that point?
He was level 8,
really?
but the thing
wow,
is
they leveled
that
up fast.
And
because that was early in the campaign, wasn't it?
Spoilers. It was maybe quarter to a third of the way through. People got to know by now. I'm sorry. You can spoil
it's
things.
Been years, man.
It's been years.
I'm joking. I just like to say it.
No,
it's one of the, like I was saying about the chess of it all, though, that like even at a higher level, if you make a mistake, like if you're not thinking straight in a game, it could be bad. Yeah.
So here's the thing. I'm not good at chess. I never really tried to learn. I don't think I'm a particularly good strategist. I'm not particularly smart in that way.
Okay.
So I'm on the fence so far. Like, is this class for me or not? I'm vibing hard on the because I don't like invulnerable characters, right?
Yeah.
So if you have to make a sacrifice that makes, we all know how I feel about death, that makes that a real risk with reward, I'm vibing on that. But if it's really difficult to play, we'll see. Jury's out. Okay. By the end of this presentation, I will have decided.
I mean, because by the end, maybe the Daggerheart version is the way to go.
Well, it very well could be. So,
It could be.
Damage output, people say it's underwhelming, and then heavily dependent on magic items, namely healing potions, which I can see how that would get annoying to folks. Let's get into what Hemocraft is.
Sure. Actually, can I say one thing about that slide? I did do a little bit of this research, and to me, I have not played the Blood Hunter, but the official D&D one that is now no longer official, or whatever. I don't know what I'm saying. It felt more like the Artificer in complication, and also like, ooh, I can't do that, or I have to do this, or it felt a little bit, cut down, a little less creative in some ways.
I had mentioned that, you might not have been there on Monday, Matt, when we were deciding what to talk about today, and I had mentioned that as well, having both played a Blood Hunter and Artificer. I was like, these two classes feel very similar to play.
Right.
And that they can be fun, but they can also...
Seems like it.
You spend a lot more time, I think, staring at your character sheet going, is this circumstance going to fit the tricks in my bag?
Right.
And do I have
That's annoying.
It is annoying. Do I have the supplies or the availability to use the thing that you spend just a little bit longer reading stuff than maybe
it's annoying to us. I can see folks who like really vibe on that, but that is, Matt knows, even when I was a little kid, I didn't like to read things, especially instructions, and that's still true to this day. Hate it. I just want to figure it out. I don't want to like actually learn how it works. I just want to get in there and get my hands on it. So yeah, I could see how having to think, and you're right about the chess thing, because you're thinking 5 steps ahead of what you're and what all the things you have to work with, how you're going to be able to apply that. But then I guess like with chess, there's the other person on the other side of the board that's going to completely change what your strategy is with the next thing that they do.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm stressed out.
Don't be stressed out. Look, here's the thing. I think that there are different kinds of fun for different situations. And sometimes I find having a super crunchy granola game and character to be fun. Trying to figure out trying to strategize, because if you get it right, then you feel super smart, even if, like me, maybe you're not super smart, right? Like, it feels, there's something fun about things clicking into place. But then other times, it's super fun to play a big old dum-dum with a meat tenderizer who just smashes things. There's a little bit of fun depending on the situation. So, sure, am I always gonna want to play a Blood Hunter and Artificer? No. But every now and then, am I gonna want my pendulum to swing in that direction and have challenge myself to do something more complicated? Sure. Will I ever play a wizard? No, because those intimidate me. High charisma, having to manage money, and I'm a hoarder. My characters are hoarders. Not the class for me. I'll never be a wizard.
Yeah. Interesting. Oh God, managing gold and silvers. Yeah. No, hell no. Electrum.
Sorry, wait, I know I'm stealing a lot of limelight here, but did Fitz just call out Grog? I would never call out my sweet baby angel, who is a gem upon this earth.
Wow. Love
Truly,
it.
One of the finest barbarians in pop culture. Let's just be
the finest. Grog is the best character that has ever charactered. Okay, thank you. Moving on.
Let's open the conversation about Hemocraft, because it just sounds cool. So, blood alchemy turns your own blood into magical power. We know this. Every cut fuels strength, precision, elemental fury, because spell slots are for cowards, right? The cruiser
slots are for cowards.
Cowards. Right? Yeah. Yes.
Right?
You know what?
What are you sacrificing a spell slot? Who cares?
Yeah. Okay. Sure. You fear the spell slots, sir. You know you do.
I do. Okay, so the Crimson Rite, that's like, this is the thing, right?
Yeah.
So you slice it open, and your weapon ignites with living energy, fire, frost, whatever. Everything costs in D&D hit points, but it's big, like just the style
points are free.
Right. Like the style that's happening, especially with this beautiful artwork. I mean, look at this.
Oh my God.
Incredible style this person's rocking. You just look badass, right? It doesn't matter. Like, even if you fail, and you know what? I think, do all blood hunters get advantage on intimidation? Because even if you are like have the worst, if you're missing every attack, but you're slicing yourself up, I would be intimidated. If some crazy mofo came at me to cutting themselves up. Oh my God.
I'd be like,
maybe I should rethink this.
Yeah.
There's a number of blood curses available, vicious hexes, powered by pain, freeze people, twist luck, whatever, do all kinds of stuff. My pick, and there's a long list, so I didn't include it all, was definitely the Curse of the Fallen Puppet.
Yes.
When an enemy dies,
so
you puppet their corpse for one last attack, amplify it for a final cinematic kill shot from beyond the grave. It basically weakened to Bernie's Blood Hunter edition.
Yep. It's so good. It's so good, man.
That is great.
So now I want to create a Blood Hunter that is based off Andrew McCarthy, and that's what I'm going to do. That's how I'm. That's my end. That's my end point. Of course, we know the cost. It demands blood. Use too much, and you're one paper cut away from a short rest, aka or your grave.
Yeah.
Every scar is a receipt for a bad decision that somehow paid off or didn't. And that's it. Everybody. That's 101, right?
Yeah, that's the 101. Yeah, that's really great.
Anything witchery to add, Fitz? Anything else to add from your experience?
Not really, because Witcher doesn't. There is no.
We moved beyond. We moved beyond Witcher. Bye, Witcher.
Yeah, the only thing I'll call out is like the one thing that confused me a little bit in practice of playing a blood hunter was that a lot of the like naming conventions for things were really similar. So like I had a hard time remembering like what the difference between a Crimson Rite versus Blood Curse was. Like that kind of tripped me up a little bit.
Yeah, it's like here in Atlanta, everything's named Peachtree something.
Sure, exactly.
Come on, man.
That's right. Am I on 23rd Avenue, 23rd Road, 23rd Terrace? It's all like that's 100%.
Yeah.
But like, you can't say that the Blood Hunter don't have flavor though.
Flavor for real.
Flavor for days.
Oh, they got the style, man. Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
Could Dexter be? I mean, Dexter is literally quite literally a blood hunter.
Yeah.
But for not his blood, other people's blood.
There's a number. There's a number out there that is specifically about the Crimson Rite. You know what I mean? There's obviously, Matt Mercer based ones, whatever Vin Diesel was into, but then there's Nico Minoru from Runaways.
Oh yeah. She has to
cut herself.
To release the Staff of One, right?
I'm not saying that is Hemocraft necessarily, but it is that kind of. It is that pain for pleasure, and then there's another one. We generally enjoy the spin-off show Gen V. Actually, a lot more than The Boys. Yeah, we like it a lot better than The Boys.
Okay. Rabbit's talking about it too.
Nicole. And exactly. Her name is Marie Moreau, and she is the most powerful soup. Yeah, there you go, Rabbit. And that is definitely Hemocraft. Everything about what she does is superhero Hemocraft.
Okay, but not so not actual magic, just
she's
flavored.
Yes, but she brings people. She has the ability eventually to use blood as a weapon, which is super gross, of course, because it's the boys. And then eventually, this is a slight spoiler, but it's not. Who cares? She has the ability to affect someone else's internal blood, so not just her own, but she has the power over. For both good and evil.
like the Magneto, except make it blood.
Except blood.
The
Gross.
more chill, lesser gross stakes version of it might be Avatar. Like I know in the Avatar universe.
Yeah, someone else mentioned that.
Yeah.
Blood benders in
Yeah.
Avatar.
It's
Yeah.
like waterbenders.
Oh, that
who
Avatar.
have kind of, no, not James Cameron's. Yes.
I was like, what?
James
Did we see
Cameron has
the same
gone
movie?
down a rabbit hole, you guys.
Oh my god. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a bloodbender? Yuck.
Yeah, I think it was
Or
like-
yum.
Bloodbender.
Or yum.
You know,
Right.
yeah, we shouldn't yuck people's yum.
Yeah.
Right. Well, let's get a little bit into
yeah.
where we talked about where it started. Let's get into where it's going. And
Yeah,
kind of the
this is what
inspiration
I'm
for this
curious
week's
about.
dive is Daggerheart, of course, right? Like the whole thing is they just released this on Halloween, I think, or around there. Into the void, the void, the void, the void. Of course, it's playtest material. Everything's going to change. But here's the thing: wildly, this kind of just blew my mind to write. But it's been 10 years that the Bloodhunter's been around now, so it still kind of feels like playtest. Maybe because it's so complicated, but it feels like homebrew. It technically still is homebrew material. But it's been around for 10 years, which is not a short amount of time. So now it's back for Daggerheart. In the Void, it's fresh again, same tragic hero energy, but the scalpel's sharper. Pain is no longer measured in hit points; it's measured in hope, bonds, and beliefs. And this is what I think. This definitely might be. I mean, Lord knows we've talked about how much we love Daggerheart and everything you can do with it. We had a great conversation yesterday with one of the game designers, just kind of chatting with Mike Underwood about all the things we love about Daggerheart. And I think this might be the less crunchy version for me.
Yeah,
so in 5e, you
too.
sacrificed hit points for raw power and maths. In Daggerheart, you sacrifice yourself, your hope, your bonds, your beliefs, and the game literalizes the emotional cost of obsession in every heroic moment, stains the soul.
Yes.
So that's a kind of edgelord I can get down with if I don't have to do the math.
Yeah. A lower the math bar on your edgelordiness.
Yeah. So there's some. Let's go to the mechanical differences between D&D and Daggerheart. So in Daggerheart, so far, you don't really have to concentrate on things the way that you do in D&D. If you do or don't, I can't confirm or deny that. Stress as a resource, stress is just not in D&D.
Yeah.
But you can for the order, and we'll get into the orders here in a second. But for the order of the Lycan, stress can lead to frenzying. Don't know what this means, but now I want to try it. Sounds cool. And of course, domain cards. And this is a big difference because with domain cards, all kinds of classes in Daggerheart get access to things that classes in D&D just can't. And Bloodhunters do, they kind of they have certain things that are special. There's one order in particular. I'll save it because we'll get into it. Okay. There's no reason for the order to exist in Daggerheart because of domain cards.
Oh,
so
sure.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for that. And let's get into orders.
Can I ask a
order
question?
in the court.
Order in the court. Can I ask a question?
I mean, you can ask it. I probably can't answer it.
Maybe some nerd can. Right now, the blood domain has only been created for Bloodhunter, or is there another crossover with it at the moment?
Oh, that's an excellent question.
I think it's just for the Bloodhunter, but I know that one of y'all in the chat know specifically.
Where's Daniel at? Where's Bloodbound?
Yeah, right.
Well, Bloodbound.
What would be interesting? I would be curious how the blood domain crosses over with some of the other classes, because like I know one of the, maybe it was the Exandria, not the Wild Mount, but the Tal'Dorei Reborn, that they had blood cleric and one other class that was sort of blood hunter flavored. And my first thought was, if there's a blood domain, wouldn't that be a fun, potentially, I don't know, domain to maybe take on with Seraph or something like that. to get a cool like homebrew marriage of those classes. Anyways, continue. I was curious if there was already a class that was crossing over with the blood domain already, but it sounds like maybe not yet.
I'm tempted to spoil our discussion with Mike Underwood about the Seraph that we had yesterday.
Yeah,
he had the best take on it, but I don't want to put words in their mouth. And
okay, tell me about it later when we're not live, because I missed it.
Well, you might be able to listen to it on a future episode of ADHD 20.
Yeah, we're hopefully going to get him on the show. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, let's get down and dirty.
Yeah.
Who wants to get down and dirty? So the orders have primarily stayed the same between D&D and Daggerheart, which makes sense because it is Mercer. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Well, I was going to say is this is kind of a cool celebration because this to me feels like the first almost one-to-one D&D. Like a lot of things in Daggerheart, you're kind of hunting for the words because they've been changed so that they aren't D&D, but obviously he was able to keep enough of the rights to the blood hunter to give you your blood puppet. I mean, I'd be sad if you couldn't cast blood puppet for real.
From what I read in the internet, it's always accurate. Yeah. I don't think WotC published the blood hunter in Wildemount, but they don't own it.
Yeah,
he owns it.
I think that is the case. Which, okay, sorry, just to take another step back, Dave has a great idea, which is a character who uses the blood and dread domain.
Jeez.
Talk about an edgelord.
Talk about a goth. That's a
That
good
is
one.
now that is the goth character.
Blood and bread?
Blood and bread.
Are you talking dread like hair?
When we
or dread like
no, like the dread
fear.
domain, like fear. Although now, Tequila, I want to play a duck who uses the blood and bread domain.
a duck?
They need to come up with like an Aarakocra class, and I will play or blood and butter. I'm gonna play a duck who likes blood and bread.
I love it.
Let's go down to Bed Bath and Blood Beyond. Blood Bank and Beyond.
Bread, butter, and blood. Blood, bread, and butter.
Blood on my bread. Okay,
Anyways,
so Order of the Ghost Slayer. So in D&D, the Ghost Slayer is a specialized undead hunter who deal extra radiant damage to the dead and can reveal invisible or shape-shifted creatures. It sounds pretty awesome. Now, the Gloomstalker kind of has some of those.
Right.
I don't know about the radiant part, but the Gloomstalker Ranger can do that.
Mm-hmm.
At high levels, they can briefly step into the ethereal plane to move through objects. I don't think Gloomstalker can do that. There's an I played a ranger in our Strahd campaign who could do that. So I don't know. I'm sure there's cross stuff all over, but those are all really cool features. In Daggerheart, it's different because they are Deathwalkers who teleport through the veil between life and death to ambush enemies, which sounds super awesome.
Yes.
When they're dying, this is 100% why I would choose to play a Ghost Slayer. So they have a special death move.
Oh,
they have their own death move, so you can choose to become a ghost when you die.
yes. So you can instead of being a Ghost Slayer, you become what you have hunted. Basically, is that?
If you come back, you haunt their toes. So when dying, you can choose to become fully spectral, passing through walls and resisting physical damage. Yeah. So I dropped a letter here. D&D hunts the dead with holy fire. Daggerheart walks between life and death, becoming a ghost themselves, potentially.
Yeah.
Can I?
Any questions?
Yes.
I have a couple of things I need to discuss from the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
First of all, yes, Dread in the Void is where it's Witch and Warlock, I think, that use the Dread domain. And I think that like Dread in D&D, the Blood Hunter takes a lot of cues from the Warlock class. So I do think that maybe a marriage between the Blood and the Dread domain would be great. Also, Quacken is the Daggerheart duck ancestry. I want to...
Release the Quacken!
Release the Quacken! the Kraken, they require blood and bread.
Oh my God, Angela. Yes, email Spencer Stark immediately, if not sooner. Yes, good work. Good work.
Oh my God.
Wow,
Okay.
sorry.
Anything else, Fitz?
That's it for me. The
cover it.
Kraken is.
Okay.
We've reached peak.
Quacking. I'm writing
Okay.
that down. I've got
Now,
it.
brother, you already kind of got into this earlier, so let's get down and dirty. There's the Order of the Mutants. So this is direct. This is like the most witchery version, right? So they're mad scientists. Now, but witchers don't have they don't have formulas and chemicals and stuff that they drink.
Yeah.
Or
Absolutely.
Yeah,
They do.
like little
Okay.
potion things. Yeah.
So this straight up is Witcher.
I mean, it is.
Yeah.
Let's see. 70
Take
plus.
us to Witcher school. Tell me.
Yeah, precise mutagenic formulas that boost one ability score while penalizing another. They eventually gain poison. I mean, reckless alchemists with 9 dramatic toxins. Yeah, so again, it is a very sad story because everything about The Witcher is sad. Everything.
Of course,
It is a truly hopeless world. Politically it's hopeless. Humanity is
You're
kind
really
of
selling
hopeless.
me on this.
So tell us about The Witcher, Matt.
Yeah,
Tell us how you Witcher feel.
but it's also strangely funny, and I think they're funny because there's just nothing else. There's nothing else you could do. You got to laugh in the face of the world. But yeah, it is. Oh, okay. Got a message there. But yeah, it is just this. They are boys. They go to the special school and they start training, and then at a certain point of their training, so I'm sure some of them want to be, but the Witchers were created as a special measure to combat monsters. They're 100% monster hunters. And in the Witcher world, very, very quick timeline, magic wasn't a part of the world. And then wizards kind of found magic and kind of ruined it for everyone. They got too powerful and
Elon Musk's of the Witcher world.
the wizards are the Elon Musks of the Witcher world, and they opened up all these gates, and all these horrible things came in and killed a lot of the humans, right?
Okay.
Actually, truly, the elves. That's unfair. The elves actually knew about magic, and it's the humans that messed everything up. Of course, right?
Yeah.
So,
duh.
so this time came where both the wizards and witchers were respected, but then the super evil wizard ruined it for everybody, and then now in this world, witchers and wizards are pretty much universally hated across the board. And witchers had to be
sounds
created.
delightful.
Yeah, so it's just such a
Depressing as
just a
hell.
rosy freaking world. Honestly, the world
Is
of the
the
Witcher
game
is
fun?
the Witcher the game.
The people just say The Witcher 3 is one of the best games of all time, but
The Witcher 3,
so
the video
sad.
game is so fun. It is a beautiful, beautiful game. It is incredibly well written. It is vast. It is it's a really beautiful. There's a reason why it gets a 10 out of 10 across the board.
And I guess I shouldn't say that sad can't be fun because it's
We love.
Last of Us.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I love it.
You're literally your comfort.
My
game
comfort
and
show
your comfort
and comfort
watch.
game is
Yeah.
The Last of Us. So I was keeping my mouth shut because I was like, I find sad fun.
Yeah, so that can be super fun. Super fun.
People love sad music. People love sad people.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Sad clown.
Not me. I hate sad people.
Favorite emotion, laughter through tears. So the Witchers are kind of a leftover, right? Like the wizards all went and started their schools, and there are people that want to be wizards, and they kind of train because it's an enormous amount of power, but you have to kind of have an inherent ability for both. And the actual TTRPG Witcher is so interesting because you can be a mage or you can be a witcher, and you are 10 times more powerful than any of the other classes. Like, the other classes are just carpenter and thief, and they don't have any magic. So it's a strangely low magic world. And magic is seen as you know,
freakish.
a very destructive force and evil.
Okay.
So the Witchers they get trained, and then there's a point where they have to go through this series of ceremonies where they are poisoned, strapped to tables, and poisoned, and all these spells cast over them and stuff, and they either survive or they don't.
Yep.
And they either become Witchers or they don't, and they are not human anymore. They're no longer human.
They die.
Right, they die. They either die or mutate to this new thing called a Witcher. So a Witcher is both a race and a class, which is very confusing. But
Like an X-Man. Like they've got the gene.
Yeah.
It's just dormant until it's activated.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so you open it up, and then you're a Witcher, and then you lead a life of everyone hating you wherever you go.
You love it.
And it's very easy to tell because your eyes change color. They kind of turn into cat eyes, and they're bright yellow. So it's not like people don't know
shades, man.
who you are. And yes, you take
shades.
these. You were given these various mutagenic poisons that kind of harken back to your original transformation, and they hurt you upon taking them, but they also
Pump your ass up.
They pump your ass up, and you can do all manner of things.
It's meth.
Give you an enormous pump. Yeah.
It's just meth.
It's just meth.
Yes.
Meth with an E.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, JR says a Witcher is like Wolverine. What he does isn't very nice, but a job's got to do.
He's the best at what he does.
But he's the best at what he does. And also, like Wolverine, in that Wolverine has to hurt himself every single time he pulls out these claws.
Oh,
which
that's
is also interesting.
That is true. That is true. He does. He does well,
yeah.
So it sounds like both the D&D and the Daggerheart versions of the Mutant, the Order of the Mutant, are pretty faithful. Looks like the key difference is D&D is controlled experimentation with detailed recipes, and Daggerheart is high-risk gambling where power comes at the cost of your body breaking down. Not really sure what that means, but the internet said it, so I believe it.
I like that, though. I like that, and it feels like the D&D version is more it's really it's talking more about the formulas and the potions, which would then be one of the subclasses of the artificer, right? Which is the potion maker.
Oh yeah, the alchemist.
But no, I don't like. Geralt doesn't invent new potions. There are like recipes passed down. He is not sitting in a lab, right? It's a traditional thing. They are very specific what they do. You have to take pieces of monsters that you've killed in order to put them together, and blood of this and blood of that. And yes, your body is constantly being stressed to its limits. But you also don't age much. You age extremely slowly too.
Hey.
So they live long.
You know, yeah, there's an upside. There's a silver lining.
Kind
Get
of.
silver hair and a silver lining.
Yeah.
Sign me up. Now we're getting close to 1:30, and I've got a number of slides left, so I'm going to go through some of these a little bit quickly. But if you see something that that grabs your attention,
sure.
If you see something, say something. Thank you. So this next order is like, someone in the chat said early on that a Witcher specifically is a monster hunter or who becomes a monster, or vice versa. And this is kind of taking that literally. So, but it sounds like, so this is the Lycan. So you're specifically a werewolf, unlike, say, like the barbarians, the path of the beast, where you can be a werewolf, but you can also be like a lizard person or something. So you're a werewolf. You can do that. You're more speed, climbing speed, natural weapons, immunity to non-magical damage, which, geez Louise, I mean, right?
Yeah.
Who doesn't want that? And then at higher levels, you can regenerate HP. So then, that does sound kind of OP to me. If the whole thing about a blood hunter is that the risk is that, oh yeah, I'm going to run out of HP if I keep doing this. But if you can regenerate, then So on the Daggerheart side, a constant curse where the beast is always lurking. You can regenerate even while unconscious in wolf form. That's pretty cool. But risk frenzying. I didn't know what this was. So if anyone out there has play tested this yet, JR. This is like Travis's Chetney character. Yeah. Is he a blood hunter? He's a rogue. Is he a rogue blood hunter? He is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I remember, on the show, like he cuts himself and then he transforms. Yeah. So yeah, if you've play tested the this order, let us know. The key difference, D&D is powerful tactical tool. Again, kind of these are all similar. Very strategic. And then Daggerheart, it's more emotional.
Yeah.
And I do love emotional driven games, man. I just do.
See?
So here's our honorable mention, because this does not exist in Daggerheart. This is what I was saying before, that because of the nature of the domain cards, it just kind of, there's no need for this, the Order of the Profane Soul. But this is one who it's basically a warlock.
Yeah.
And since it's not in Daggerheart, we don't care. Let's move on.
Wow. Okay.
What? What's wrong?
Nothing.
That was just the blood hunter that I played, but I guess they don't matter, so it's fine.
Oh, it was? Okay, Leah, we'll enlighten us. Tell us more about it.
It's the warlock blood hunter crossover. Like you get some pact magic, which is nice, and like you can because it's sort of the crossover with the warlock, I found it was a little bit easier to build in some flavor because you choose your pact. So I chose the Archfey, so I automatically was able to like make a little NPC that worked for that. So I don't know.
Oh,
it was nice.
All right.
I can't speak to like whether it's a good class to play or not, but I have fun.
That's important. That's what's important.
Yeah.
Had you played Warlocks prior to that?
I think, yes, but not to great success. I think the character, the game that we played in Tataria before we scrapped it for the Cross Peaks crew we have now, I think she might have been a warlock.
That's right.
But it didn't work
Early
so great
days.
because we were playing low magic, and so I had to try to hide Eldritch Blast, and it just wasn't super fun.
That's right.
That was
But-
it was a lot of silly.
We were figuring it.
Magic tricks.
out. We were
was
figuring
no
out
mechanics.
the vibe. It was fun.
Early days.
Early days. But I'd like to play a warlock at some point. But no, I mean it's fun. That's all I have to say.
Well, speaking of doing things for the first time, apparently these are the common pitfalls for noobs. For D&D, obviously a lot of crunch. So forgetting the Crimson Rite stays active. Tell me what that means.
Forgetting that the Crimson Rite stays active. That's kind of like probably like Hunter's Mark. Like people might forget to like use
Use
it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Right. Yes. My problem is I forget to use Hunter's Mark.
Right.
I always remember after I've attacked.
Yes.
Oh yeah, can I do? Oh man. Burning HP too fast, obviously.
Yeah.
Wasting blood curse uses on trash mobs. Is that English? I don't even know what
You
that
wrote
is.
it.
I did. Multi-classing without understanding MAD, and now I've forgotten what the MAD acronym stands for. Moving on, Daggerheart. Basically, it's just multi-classing rules. Like apparently, blood hunters can be very complicated to multi-class.
Yes.
So we've already covered multi-classing and our likes and dislikes about that. So this sounds like one that if you're a noob to this, don't.
Thank you, Dave.
Don't go there.
Multiple
attribute dependency. Hell yes, thank you.
That's
why we love you guys.
God, that's so tough. This is why it's stuff like that I think makes some classes a little gatekeepy. Like for newer characters or like newer players.
Yeah, there's not an entry model for you to dip your toes into.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And because you need to be
unless it's Daggerheart.
Unless it's Daggerheart. Because you have to be kind of good at a couple of things and balancing that and knowing how to balance it. You can very easily dig yourself into a bad hole.
Oh.
Trash mobs. Basically small enemies, minions, early combatants in the adventuring day.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Trash mobs.
Okay.
Thank you, Dave. Amazing.
Yeah, this whole thing that we're talking about is all about like the pitfalls is the strategy parts, right? Of like knowing when to use something and when not to use it, and remembering you have certain things up and that you haven't used something, and that if you do this, then you have to keep track. Like I know, like there are some parts where you have to keep track of your hit points because if you're below some sort of threshold, then you can do more damage, but you might go into a rage sort of situation, like a frenzy kind of thing. Like there's just a lot of kind of keep track of and to weigh against. Do I think that this threat is big enough to use this right now? Is this even going to work? Are they going to resist what I'm about to throw down and I hurt myself in the process? Like, there's just a lot to think about.
Right. It sounds like the frenzy mechanism in Daggerheart for the Order of the Lycan, I think I'm inferring that you lose control and maybe you start attacking your pals or things like that. Which
that's what I'm looking at the void now, trying to see if I can find it. But
now, the Daggerheart pitfalls here seem a lot more manageable than and avoidable than the D&D ones. Like D&D stuff seems like it could be, there's a kind of a steep learning curve. Daggerheart, spinning hope recklessly, like, yeah, you can avoid that without just like, oh yeah, don't spend too much hope.
But at least hope is a dynamic thing. So even if you do maybe spend a little too much, just wait and you might get some back.
You can get it back. Forgetting which mutagen is active, so that's similar to the Crimson Rite mechanic in D&D. And then the last one, not reading your transformation mechanics.
I could say that about a lot of Daggerheart cards.
Not reading anything.
Exactly.
Oh, I know. It's like I have like a little bit of like a Magic the Gathering card blindness when it comes to Daggerheart.
Me too.
And I love the beauty of the cards. But as we've already established, I don't like reading. So that is just another thing that I have to read, which I don't. So let's get down to what everybody wants to know, which version's best, D&D versus Daggerheart. Who wins? Okay. So here we go. D&D, Blunt Hunter is built like a martial subclass with a spell-flavored engine. It shines when you want tactical crunch, tracking your HP, calculating self-damage, stacking buffs, squeezing every last drop of efficiency from a short rest. This is truly like a min-maxer's dream. Yeah. Each order offers a clear identity. And I will say they are like the orders. Some orders or some subclasses in D&D get real goofy, like especially the 2024 5e barbarian subclasses. Some of them just get weird. All of these seem extremely cool. Mutant, math, Lycan, mayhem, ghost slaying, precision, but the trade-off is bookkeeping. So it's a power gamer's love letter to risk reward. Sometimes buries story under spreadsheets. So it depends on what your flavor of fun is. Daggerheart for the theater kid game, it rewrites trades crunch for consequence. Instead of cutting hit points, you burn hope and beliefs, and I'm using that just to mean like from a story sense, tying, I don't know why that's capital B, tying power directly to character arcs. The orders become story engines. Ghostslayer wrestling with death, Lycan with control, Mutant with self-corruption. Like all those are just, it makes it just so much juicier, right? It's like you understand the thrust of the character characterized that way. It's lighter on rules, heavier on drama. Obviously, that's for me. You lose granular optimization, but gain emotional agency. Every ability asks, what does this cost me as a person? Not how much damage can I add? And
Right.
that's pretty cool.
It also, it feels to me, I love the story engines part, but I think it also is benefited from Daggerheart's threshold, right? Like again,
Right,
the thresholds, since you're not a bag of hit points, you're really like, here's damage that I take. It could be emotional, it could be magic, it can be physical, and that
Much
to
more
me
layered.
both softens the blood hunter as far as anybody who is blood phobic. It softens it because you can think of it less as I'm cutting, and more, heat or just pain or even psychic damage or whatever you want. It's kind of nice. And then the threshold means, whoa, this is a big ass sacrifice. If I'm going to spend this, then so yeah, it yes, you do lose granular optimization. Yeah.
But
But Daggerheart's not the game for mid-maxers anyway.
Yeah.
what's nice is I've dug a little deep into the question of the frenzy, and I think that it has revealed something interesting about the Daggerheart version of the Blood Hunter, because we've mentioned that in 5e it's very much risk reward with strategy, and that Daggerheart, it's a little bit like most of other parts of Daggerheart, a lot more like emotional based. Well, okay, so I dug in. The frenzy thing is not in the Blood Hunter stuff. You have to go to Werewolf, because you get the Werewolf transformation card with Order of the Lycan. So frenzy is on the Werewolf card. And that is when you mark your last stress while in wolf form. So you have to be in wolf form. And if you mark your last stress, then you roll a number of d20s equal to your tier and automatically deal that much physical damage to all creatures within very close range, then drop out of wolf form. So you like slash out at everything within very close range to you.
Including your friends.
Including your friends, and deal a bunch of damage, and then you drop out of wolf form. So you do go into a frenzy. But what's interesting is if you are someone who is playing Daggerheart, but you like a little taste of strategy, like a hint of it, you like the LaCroix of strategy.
The liqueur.
Liqueur. You like essence of strategy. Then this will be great, because a ton of the domain cards for Blood Hunter, just scanning through, are that you mark a stress to get something.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're instead of playing with hit points, you're playing with stress of like, am I getting too much? Depending on your adversary, they may be dealing you stress as well. So like you might be toying on the edge of that frenzy zone if you're playing Order like it. So that's an interesting.
It's really fun.
I want to play all of the things. Well, so is this? Let's answer the question, right? I said I would decide by the end of this presentation. Is this for you, right?
Yes.
So D&D, play it if you love crunchy mechanics, right? If you're a Pathfinder freak, if you're a DC 20 nerd, you should probably check it out. If you enjoy the Witcher vibe, grim professionalism, monster guts, you want to say, I cut my hand open for this crit and mean it, literally. Skip it if you hate tracking modifiers, damage dice, or your own HP as a resource. You want simple plug and play fighter. This class needs attention. You get stressed out when your best move involves hurting yourself. Sure, this is for people getting triggered. Or you don't have reliable access to healing. Don't have a cleric in your party.
Oh, yeah.
It's a low magic world, whatever. Probably not a great character to play. In Daggerheart, play it if you like story-driven power. At a personal cost, every decision changes your character, who your character becomes. Always fun for those who like that, like me. You want high drama, inner turmoil, and the freedom to fail beautifully. You're a role player first, dice roller second. Yeah, and skip it, of course. You prefer mechanical mastery over emotional storytelling. You'd rather optimize builds than explore trauma. You're uncomfortable with the playtest material. That might change, and that's perfectly valid.
That's always the case, yeah.
True.
That is always the case. And we have reached the conclusion of my presentation, and now I will reveal...
Very thorough.
whether I would play a blood hunter or not.
Please
And
reveal.
the answer is I would actually try both. I would try both. I would like to start with Daggerheart as like my entry point to do it, to like get the feel of the kind of character without the mind bending rules. But I wouldn't say no to trying it in a D&D campaign. And because it's good to do things that you fear. And I've never really played a super crunchy character, so I don't really know what that's like. So I can't say that I wouldn't try it. It's intimidating. But I would say yes, man. I'd say it sounds pretty effing cool to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's our show. Bye.
Bye. How about you, Fitz?
Yay!
Would you do it again?
I've played it in D&D, and I had fun, but I will say that it was for a like mini campaign. It wasn't for like a years long thing. It was one of those where I knew I'd be playing it for a few months and then move on. And I think that was just the right amount of time for me to enjoy it and love it, but not feel too frustrated if I didn't get something right. I just had to survive 12 weeks and then it was fine. So I enjoyed that, which maybe would be the move for you too, Evan. Like if at some point we were able to do like not a one shot, but also not having to fully commit to a campaign, like long enough. You know what? It's a great class for you get to play it more than a one shot, long enough to get your feet wet, but not so long that you are worried constantly and you have the pit of anxiety that you're going to accidentally kill your character.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I would play. I'm very curious. I'm very curious about the Daggerheart version, and having not gone like super deep into reading through the blood domain, I've just obviously been scanning it a little bit, but I would really love to see how it combines with some of the other domains, like the bread domain and the dread domain and
the bread domain. But bread, the band, the
bread,
70s
yes. Band. That's exactly right. No, but I want to. I'm just very curious about the newer domains that they're coming out with and how they're going to interact with each other and with the base game ones and what that means for homebrewing and class stuff, because I think where homebrewing and D&D didn't excite me, it maybe worried me, because I always felt like when you start to tinker with something, it breaks a bunch of other things down the road. I feel kind of satisfied in particular with the way you can homebrew the domain system in D&D to really sort of narrow in focus. So like not only am I excited about playing the Blood Hunter in Daggerheart, but I'm also excited about using the blood domain separately as its own interesting thing to combine elsewhere.
That's fun.
And brother,
I want to play a Blood Hunter now that I truly understand that it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be the trigger that I've allowed it to be from my days as the president of the Red Cross Club, and I was in charge of the blood drive, and I almost passed out. But
I can't do it either, man. I can't.
But what I love, and I know you talked about this, but my favorite class feature is the Grim Psychometry.
Yeah.
And I was going to look up and see if that's also in the D&D version.
Yes.
It isn't. Yes.
It is, but
the inspecting of a creature, location or object, and getting a vision of the most recent violence involving.
So
that is just, come on, man.
This would be great for like a mystery on the Orient Express game.
Oh.
Like some sort of murder mystery. Or like an intrigue campaign.
Are you saying what is it called? Badlands of the Colossus? Drylands of the Colossus meets
Colossus of the Drylands, yeah.
Murder on the Orient Express meets a party made up entirely of blood hunters.
Oops, all blood hunters? Yes. Wow. Oh, you could make a very interesting like Pierrot Blood Hunter.
You really could.
Oh, yeah, he sniffs out the blood.
That's
and licks
right.
it up.
Yeah.
Seth made an interesting point earlier in the chat talking about the Nine Snail shirt. I think Trent Reznor is a real-life blood hunter.
Oh.
Right?
Well, how so? How so?
Emotionally. Like, he's super
Yeah.
super angsty, super goth, very edgelordy, very self-abusive. And his self-abuse is kind of a superpower because he makes such amazing music.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Kind of a real-life, blood hunter.
So, Matt, though, you said you would be interested in playing the Daggerheart one because you're expressing interest specifically in the grim psychometry, but would you play
A D&D?
Yeah.
I think after my experience with D&D's Artificer, I would be less likely. I just
Fair.
because when I the tiny bit of homework I did for today, when I was like, yeah, that just really there was just I could never put my finger on it. It's like Dungeons and Dragons really shines if you have a GM that can kind of put you in the pocket that you need to be role playing wise, because those classes. Sorry, let me finish that thought. Role playing wise and tactically, and that is not always balanced in Dungeons and Dragons. I'm not saying it's always balanced in Daggerheart either, but especially in the void situation. But for D&D, it's so vital to have your class be role playable, which sure, Blood Hunter, great, Artificer, perfect, but then stand up by your friends and not get depressed when you can't do some of the things that they can do.
Right. Yeah.
And the domain cards, like you said many times just today, that cures a lot of that anxiety or stress in Daggerheart. It just cures it because you can choose. You can find a way to cast a fireball, and your GM, especially if your GM is open to mixing and matching.
Right.
You don't have to. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there is there is a greater chance when you're playing D&D of accidentally bringing a knife to a gunfight than there is in Daggerheart.
That's true. That's very true.
That is where I'm going to stand on this issue, is that sometimes you bring a barbarian to a mage fight and there's nothing you could do because everybody's flying, so you're just picking your wedgie on the ground. Like, that's higher likely to happen. In
they made
D&D.
one barbarian in 2024 rules that can teleport up to where, to address that specific thing.
Yeah.
But it's also the goofiest, kind of dumbest barbarian subclass. So
it reminds me of, there's a subclass on Shard that I love to play. I think it's a Kobold Press barbarian that I just absolutely adore. And it was very similarly flavored to that. But you could teleport around through the mist and stuff on that one, and it was very fun. But
Yeah.
Or you just do Yasha and you got wings, right?
That's right, baby.
There you go.
Red Bull gives you wings.
And that's our show.
Or you have a barbarian and an artificer, and the artificer just builds catapults for the barbarian.
Oh, I thought you were going to say sick-ass mechanical wings, but catapult's better.
Catapult's better.
It's okay. Can I go back to what I said just real quick and say here's the difficulty of D&D a lot of times. See if this speaks to y'all, please let us know in the comments. When you're talking about crunch, or you're talking about, D&D holding on to old rules and stuff, for me, it really comes down to, as we kind of touched on last week, there is this urge to min-max, even if you're not a min-maxer. There is this need to min-max, even if you're not a min-maxer.
Yeah, you want to be good at what you're doing, right?
Because you want to be good at what you're doing, and 5e, unlike earlier versions, a la Shadow Dark, you don't come to the table with two characters. You don't do that. So you fall in love instantly with your backstory and your character and what they do and how they got to be who they do. And then you get out into the field and you could die instantly.
And you're mid. Yeah.
And whoa, you feel bad. And I feel like it's not as set up. I'm gonna give some love to the Witcher TTRPG right now. As I mentioned, I know this. I think it's handled really well in play. I saw this happen, but there was always at Gen Con, always a Witcher and always a mage. Somebody always picked those, of course.
Okay. Yeah. How many games did you run of Witcher?
Three.
Okay.
And in every single situation, it felt more balanced than D&D because those other classes, all they could do was hide, basically.
Yeah, right.
But the thief was doing stuff that set up the Witcher, set up the mage, the I think literally is carpenter or something like that. Built
baker.
the traps that the army of bad guys fell into and was like maintaining that the whole time. So yes, the Witcher was the only one doing damage without question, but it felt like everybody was this support team, like a really good cleric player, like you, Fitz. A very, very good cleric player understands your job is not about damage, but that's hard to say. Like you have to really want that. If you're a player that wants to be like, I killed that thing too, then you shouldn't
If
probably
you need credit and external validation, don't play a cleric.
Well, there's a lot of people who I don't know. So D&D, I think, is like you're a superhero, and that's the problem. Everybody's a superhero. Witcher, you're not. That's not the case. There are two superheroes, and then everybody else is like trying to help. But if you're not a superhero, if you don't pump up your artificer, if you don't pump up your blood hunter, then you're gonna be sad, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yes, it does make sense. And I think it actually segues into the question that y'all had, which I would like to address because I think a lot of people wonder this and whether or not it fully ties in today's conversation or not. I don't care. I want to answer it. They said, I have a concern and question wrapped into one. Is Daggerheart player power scaling like D&D? So skewed that players can reach such a ridiculous power level at an early stage that enemies in the games are pushovers. No. And I think that this happens because of the way that the CR rating system is in D&D, and I think that the way that they build monster tiers in Daggerheart, and that there's only 10 levels, and the way that you have more of a skill tree when leveling up, I think it's a little bit more one-for-one. Matt, as someone who has DM'd Daggerheart, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like on the player side, I don't feel this as much as I do in D&D, where it does feel like in D&D a lot of times it's like, oh, these are just supposed to be a speed bump on the way to the showdown, and you can just plow through some stuff, and then you get to an encounter that's actually hard. I think in Daggerheart, because of the way you build monsters and the way that the characters level, you don't run into that. I don't feel that as much.
I would say yes, and also the fact that you are very, very much encouraged to build your own monsters. Pretty much every game. Look, there are some that are there's a bunch included, but there is no monster manual. I mean, now there are starting to come out some, which is great and fun. But even that you are supposed to, and it is very easy to adjust. So, yeah, you get into trouble when you try to understand CR. I've never understood it, no matter how many people have tried to explain it. But the CR... And then match a player? No, I've never ever gotten that. So I
I've
think
never understood.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
And I wouldn't understand this because I've never DM'd. Why they don't make in D&D a more flexible system to adjust on the fly, right? It's like, oh shit, my players are way too powerful, so I can just like press a button and all of a sudden because they don't know that you're doing it, but
The
like behind the
assumption-
scenes, you just
Yeah.
level
I
them
mean,
up
the
real
assumption is
quick,
that
so they're tougher.
they think that you as a GM are going to just know to do that. And I don't
I
think people
do,
necessarily
yeah.
do. And I don't
Right.
think, even if you know to do it, I think not every GM necessarily
Know to do it
knows-
on the fly or know
no-
to prepare in advance.
both, like to prepare that,
Okay.
oh, maybe I'm going to have to do this or this or this. But I also think that maybe some GMs, because, you know, combat can be anxiety inducing. Like I always end up like sweating no matter what we do. That like you might get like freak out and pull the wrong lever. Like you might dumb down the wrong ability and it doesn't make a difference, or you might accidentally make this thing too hard because you wanted to scale it from, like, it was being a little too easy, so you add a little bit more damage and then oops, you killed somebody. Like it can be difficult to know which lever to pull and how hard.
Right.
There are definitely rules by the greats, the Mike Shays, the Matthew Colvilles, on how to balance mid-game for a game master, and you can research that all the time. I think that the reason that the Daggerheart currently, the way that Daggerheart is played with adversaries versus PCs, has a lot to do with the template effect. Meaning, like, I would consider a vampire in, like, I'm gonna build an encounter. I need a vampire and I need the PCs, and you get the stat from the monster manual, and that is your vampire, right? Mm-hmm. But because you're not building it and you're not necessarily like trying to tailor it to your characters, that's just not something that I think D&D does as well, in my opinion. So you are having to like either increase hit points on the fly, whereas in Daggerheart, you don't have as many templates. You kind of do have to put some thought into it when you're prepping. That's my theory.
I hadn't considered the fact that if you start mucking about with something on the fly, that you could break the mechanics of it without knowing.
It's a
you
domino
can break
effect.
It can be very quickly.
Yeah.
But also, Matt, I want to sort of maybe wrap it together, because I know we got to start wrapping things up. But, you know, what you just said there about they sort of assume, or like Daggerheart is more built for you to create the adversaries. And to be frank, you can do so very quickly. Like, I know that makes it sound like there's more work on the GM's side for it, and like sure, you have to spend 5 or 10 extra minutes maybe doing that, but I think because you go through that extra step to build the adversaries, I wonder if that helps also solve the bring in a knife to the gunfight situation, because you're thinking about the characters and you're thinking about the game that you're playing, and so you know what adversary is going to be interesting and what abilities are going to be interesting specifically to the players. So you're building the monsters as a reaction to what the people in your table have brought.
Yep.
Whereas in D&D, it's much, like you said, it's much more templatized. So you could maybe end up with a player or two whose character just sort of gets left behind, maybe.
Right.
Whereas if you're in control... They suck. Whereas if you're in control of building the adversaries and the environments, you might be thinking, oh, this is going to work great for this blood hunter. I'm not going to concentrate on this for the cleric or the seraph, the cleric for now, but this environment will work. The cleric will work against them. Hello, cleric.
Hello, cleric.
It puts the seraph on the skin.
Or else it gets the blood hunter again.
And that's our show.
That's our show. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Amazing.
So, yeah.
Very good.
let's-
Love this.
Thank you all for bearing with me through my learning process here and joining me. Please get into our Discord. Tell us if you have been a blood hunter, if you want to, if D&D is your flavor, if Daggerheart's your flavor, what you think. Please join us. Chatbot's got the links. Also, what else? The Adventures of Bud and Herb has merch. We do. For the official merch for the first time, please go to budandherb.dashery.com.
Is the sale still going on, or did that end?
You could go and find out. Go and find out. There might be a few minutes left. I think it might end
if it's
today.
ending, yeah, I think it ends today. So get in there while stuff is discounted.
Grab it and growl, as our dad used to say. Except don't eat it. Don't eat it. You said that about food.
Well, I wanted to eat the stickers.
They look delicious. They are. It is incredible art by amazing artists Taryn Kazi and Bridget Connell. Go and support them as well. So that's new, brother. Anything else? What's happening with ADHD?
Oh, we still have a very big episode coming out very soon. We've been kind of doing a bunch of different things that have kept us from posting. We have ADHD. Let's be honest, but we have one that we're really, really excited about. So that's coming out very soon.
It wouldn't be authentic, though.
That's right.
That's true.
It's part of the authentic experience.
That's true.
That's right.
Ding.
Amazing. Well, on that note, you guys.
Thanks for joining.
Someone asked earlier, what's your blood type? Does everybody know?
No, I've learned about 5 times. I've learned 5 times. I can never remember
either. I can never remember. I know that it's like the most common. So we probably have the same one.
Probably.
I think it's like the most common one. And that's what I have. Fitz, I'm going to say you're type O negative.
You might actually be right. That actually rings a bell.
And that one's like really rare, right? That one's really rare.
I do think I am. I think I am an O. I'll have to call my mom. Hold on. I'm going to call my mom.
My mom.
I need my cell phone. Hey, ma'am.
Fitz is going to call her mom, and we are going to say until next week.
Yeah.
Thanks, you guys.
Yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye. Outro.